Ben McKee and Patrick Brown on Go Vols 24/7 here on campus on Wednesday of Tennessee's second open week this season. Tennessee sitting pretty at 6-1 heading into November, and of course, they always say that you are remembered for what you do in November. So a big month of football coming up for Tennessee. But first and foremost, Tennessee needs to handle this second open week much better than it did the first open week earlier in the season, which led to a loss at Arkansas.
Yeah, you go back to some comments that Dylan Sampson made after the Arkansas loss, saying, suggesting that the team might have been lackadaisical during the open day. You could kind of, since that was in the back of the mind of some Josh Heupel and some of the players we talked to today, just attention to detail. You heard that phrase 100 times. You heard emphasis on getting better as a team, and Heupel said, yeah, we say that every day, but it's almost like when they came in for the team meeting yesterday or when they came in for practice yesterday, it was more, he was almost reiterated, amplified, whatever you want to call it. So I think they know, and Heupel brought it up in his opening statement, talking to us after practice. So we got to play better after this one, after this open day than we did the first one. So that's clearly a point of emphasis this week. And again, the proof will be in the pudding when we see how they play against Kentucky. But they said all the right things about making sure that they don't mess it up like they did the last time.
They did. Brew McCoy said all the right things. Cooper Mays, Jeremiah Thielander said it's us versus us. It's Tennessee versus Tennessee. Several of them said that they need to keep their foot on the gas as if they do have an opponent this week. So they are saying the right thing and acknowledging that something needed to change. And I asked a follow-up question to multiple guys that, hey, have you seen a difference this week? And they all said yes. So like Patrick said, the proof will be in the pudding. What is also in the pudding of proof is that Neyland Stadium does not pipe in crowd noise, contrary to popular belief in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, you were on the field at the end of the game, right? You can attest to the volume.
Very loud.
So it's kind of turned into a thing. It should be beneath this rivalry. This is two of the winningest programs in the SEC, and we're fighting over crowd noise.
Or the rivalry is just that petty because they dislike each other that much.
That's true, and clearly, it was penalties 2 years ago. It was the refs. This year, it's the noise. Look, it was really loud. It affected Alabama. And Cooper Mays had a good line. Said, hey, if they're saying that, that's a good compliment to your fans because they are giving off the illusion that some of the crowd noise is amplified or fake, or piped in, whatever you want to call it. And Josh Heupel chimed in. He's on the record now saying that Neyland Stadium does not need any help to be the loudest place in America, and he said that he hopes you people, the fans, take it personally. So poor Kentucky out here catching strays. They're getting ready for Auburn, and they're going to be walking into a loud, raucous environment Saturday night here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh Heupel will want to make sure that those deep balls are also hitting. That was another point of conversation. It continues to be a topic of conversation. The offense missing on some deep balls in the first half. Brew McCoy spoke today and had a lot of great things to say about working on the fine details from the receiver standpoint. Josh Heupel talked and gave praise to Nico about how he bounced back from the first half despite maybe hearing some comments and noise from the crowd and hitting on plays in the second half and it taking courage to hear noise, play poorly, and then come back and still find a way to beat Alabama.
Yeah, Bruce said it was more encouraging than frustrating to see how close they are to hitting some of those deep shots, and he said it was almost bittersweet because he thinks they're playing well as a receiving corps, but he also acknowledges that they're leaving some plays out there, and not just on those deep balls too, I think. In terms of Nico, the way that Heupel described it is it feels like when you're a freshman and it's not going well, you hear some murmurings, things like that. It feels like the walls are closing in, and he was really impressed and really said that Nico did a great job of pushing back in the second half. He said the throw to Dante Thornton was special, and he was just really impressed by the toughness that his young quarterback showed. And now, going back to what we started talking about earlier, it's about building on it this week and finding ways to get better and as you touched on, hitting those deep balls that are going to continue to be open because that's just how this offense is. That's how Josh Heupel calls plays. They're going to be there. They've got to start hitting them.
Tennessee has a chance to do something really special this season, and it starts with this week and preparing for the month of November. We've got plenty of coverage of the open week at GoVols247.com, so make sure that you're locked in there. Got all the football coverage you need, and, of course, a busy week for basketball and baseball and recruiting as well. He's Patrick Brown. I'm Ben McKee.